You will find that this wave of relaxation is on your shoulders, and from both your shoulders this wave of relaxation is gently pushing out all the stress from the fingers of both your hands, and you can feel the stress simply flying away from the fingers of wave of relaxation goes down your back, your upper back, your mid back, your lower back, relaxing all the muscles of your back. Moving up now from your shoulders, up your neck, the muscles of your neck are also relaxing completely. Moving up your scalp, down your face, relaxing your jawline, allowing your entire face to feel the relaxation. And now your physical body is relaxing deeply and completely. And your mind is so calm and relaxed. And you can now feel that from your closed eyelids, any residual stress that you may have still in your body is simply flying away, making your eyelids very, very heavy, very limp, allowing you to go further deep down in your own subconscious mind, which is ready to receive an important message. For the next few moments, you will not be listening to my voice. The absence of my voice, coupled with any other background noise, will help you to go even more deeper. And now, imagine or visualize yourself on top of a staircase. This staircase has got 20 steps going down, is very well lit, and has got sturdy handrails on both the sides. And now let's start going down these stairs. Starting with your left foot first. Start going down the stairs. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And at 0, you're at the bottom of the stairs. Deep down in your own subconscious mind. Stand there in this deepest part of your own subconscious mind. Enjoy your light body. Feel safe and feel very comfortable. Your body feels so light, as if it is made up of light only. And now, as you stand deep down in your own subconscious mind, I'm going to give you a suggestion. I want you to concentrate on what I'm saying, and this suggestion is going to penetrate deep down in your own mind. I want you to focus on the sound of my voice and the sound of my voice only. As I repeat this suggestion, you too keep repeating it in your own subconscious mind. As I will keep repeating this suggestion, this will go deep into your own subconscious mind. And here I start the suggestion. I will repeat it 3 times. Please repeat after me as you stand deep down in your own subconscious mind. And here I start. I acknowledge that this journey of entrepreneurship is full of positive challenges, and I know I can use these challenges to reach my goal comfortably. I will repeat it again, and you can repeat after me. I acknowledge that this journey of entrepreneurship is full of positive challenges, and I know I can use these challenges to reach my goal comfortably. I'll repeat it again. Please repeat after me in your own mind. I acknowledge that this journey of entrepreneurship is full of positive challenges, and I know I can use these challenges to reach my goal comfortably. And now I'm going to count you down from 5 to 0. And with each count, this suggestion will go deeper and deeper into your subconscious mind. And it will be very deep at 0. And now at 5, it's already very deeply embedded in your subconscious mind. Deeper at 4, very deep at 3, still going deeper at 2, very, very deep at 1. At 0, this suggestion has gone very deep in your own subconscious mind. And as your mind conceives it, you will begin to digest this suggestion. You will simulate it, and then you will feel the body needing more and more oxygen, and your breathing will go deeper and deeper in a few minutes. As this suggestion goes deeper and deeper, you will need more oxygen, and so deeply keep inhaling. Have deeper breaths, allowing this suggestion to go even more deeper. Continue to take deep breaths, allowing this suggestion to embed itself deep down in the comfort of your own subconscious mind. And now I'm going to count you up from 0 to 5. And at each count that you will come up, you will feel fully awake, feeling very good about yourself. Starting at 0, you are comfortable, relaxed, with a wonderful suggestion deeply embedded in your subconscious mind. Coming up at 1, further up at 2, further up at 3, feeling fresh, feeling awake, feeling very, very comfortable. Further up at 4, and higher up at 5, fully fresh, fully awake, back in the here and now, back to your body with all your consciousness put together, and you can open your eyes at 5, feeling comfortable and relaxed. Thank you so much, and I now hand over.
Hello.
Hello. Yes, sir.
So I think I just wanted to take you all through a small relaxing technique. I would now probably open it up for questions. Are there any questions that we can take in few of them?
Yeah.
And
Uh, yes, I'm sure, sir. Thank you very much, and also, madam, for the wonderful tips that you both have given for the participants of this faculty development program. I read few questions. Mr. Sunil Kumar wants to know, uh, sir, kindly throw some light on some brilliant tips to deal with difficult boss.
okay, so my take on managing difficult bosses. Usually, you will realize that the difficult boss is also stressed. He may be operating in from a difficult boss becomes someone who's operating from parent ego state. Constantly, he will keep talking, uh, giving orders. So one of the techniques of building a capacity of competence is about asking questions. Now, when you ask questions, person is a parent ego state. The parent ego state, if he hooks your child, the relationship is going to be he's aggressive and you're submissive. And that becomes a challenging boss or a difficult boss. But slowly and steadily, you bring him to an adult ego state, keep talking to him an adult. So he'll say, oh, you have to do this. You go and ask him, yeah, okay, I will do this. But I've got two questions. Will you please answer that for me? Slowly and steadily, once you start asking a lot of probing questions, the parent ego state may give away to an adult ego state. So when I talk about TA and transaction analysis, that's one way of building, managing a boss. So in my career, I've had these kind of tough bosses who, only my dad was tough again. So this TA really helped me manage these situations much better. So I think that's the immediate answer that I can give. But it's building adult to adult relationship with your boss. Establishing that is important. And what happens is over a period of time, with our the way we are and whatever be the situation, our relationship with our boss becomes a parent-child relationship. That's when the boss remains tough.
Thank
Hello?
you so much. Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you, sir. I'm sure that answered sir's question. In fact,
Okay.
he's asking one more question. Can you throw some light on couples therapy?
Couples therapy, now there are a lot of modalities. When you look at couples therapy, REBT is one of the counselors use this very often. So that is one part of it. In hypnotherapy, they do something known as family constellation. That's a therapy where again a couple can get involved. Generally, what we do is we now, while we are doing this course, a couple of us have come together. So generally, we two or three hypnotherapists work on a couple and on a family together. For example, most of the time, my wife works with the women there. I sit and take sessions with the guy. And if the child is involved, we've got another therapist who works and specializes with children. So you understand the three perspectives, you can compare notes and then work on looking at understanding where these wounds have come in from.
Okay. There's one more question from Dr. Subhashish. He's
Okay.
saying, very nice session, sir. But one thing I
Mm-hmm.
have observed that all these relaxation techniques work when we are
Mm-hmm.
not stressful. But during stress, the body and the mind not able to think anything other than that stressful event that the one is doing, and actually nothing works at that point of time. So how to cope up with that situation?
So the point is what has happened is it's an automated response that has kicked in. So I would only answer to Dr. Subhashish that you give it time. Many a times when the situation is at a peak, the body has reacted multiple ways. There is only way that you can. One of the most important techniques that we talk to most of our clients is about breathing out. In level one itself, they try and do that. Someone is in acute pain or an acute grip of that sadness or that fear or the anger, then you have to just first calm that individual down by doing a lot of breathing. And the simple technique of breathing is you breathe in through your nose and breathe out through your mouth and just focus on your breathing. So that it works in most of the cases, and then you need to take an intervention. Is why is there such an what has kicked in such an aggravated response? Some issue of stress has happened, but it becomes toxic at a particular period of time when there are some past memories that have been surfaced. So immediately at that particular period of time, it's best to breathe out. That's one thing that one can do it emotionally. Dodge that issue somewhere and find someone to talk to. I think those are a couple of things that offhand we can do in order to address while you are in the grip of that stressful situation.
Totally agree with that, sir. There's
Mhm.
one more question by Dr. Vaishali. She wants to
Yeah.
know some stressful situation
Mhm.
affect our work to such an extent that we never turn back to complete the task that was given. So, how to overcome this kind of situations?
So if you have a problem of this nature, find the source. You are not going back because there is such a there's a whole concept of what to say childhood trauma, or there's a concept now childhood does not mean that the childhood has to be right when you were a toddler. Childhood can be 2 years back you have had a trauma similar situation that leaves an imprint on your mind. So my whole issue is that any trauma that has caused in the past, this is not an isolated incident. This incident has been tied up to a past incidents where a trauma has occurred and you've not been able to resolve it. It's gone under the carpet, or there are certain issues that have happened on that nature. So my whole point is that if there's a task that has not been finished, park it at that particular period of time, you will see a repetitive pattern happening somewhere else also. There may be a couple of tasks that you procrastinated. So if you can link in the pattern, sometimes go across, and on your own also you will be able to analyze where that thing has come in from. So my whole again going back to the whole thing that there are these childhood traumas, or there are traumas in the past that have happened which have not been resolved, and this one work related situation has triggered in the connection with those past traumas. And then you know body will always try and avoid pain. The entire closure is how it can avoid pain and how it can seek pleasure. This is an automated response that works inside our mind. So if you feel that this thing is going to give you and land up into a painful situation, sometimes the automated processes will take you away from. So my point is that if it has happened in an isolation, reflect back, think, see whether you can go back to conclusion. But you've been put off by something. So what are the reasons why it is coming in? Is it a reactive behavior? Which ego state? Are you worried about something in the future? Are you stopped because of a guilt of the past? So you need to go into those dimensions and analyze it. So most of the time we figure that out. Our mind works in that manner. But sometimes when you are not able to resolve, then ask help. Go and meet someone who will be able to take you through this, will calm you down, will try uh, if it is something that is nagging you for a period of time, it bothers you and you want answers, you will be able to find them. Hello? Hello? Did I get the question right, or
Yes, sir.
have,
I think
have
that
I been able to answer that? I mean, I understand Dr. Vaishali's question that, how do you go back? So your mind will find a way if it can heal. But if it is not healing and it is still bothering you, you take some help and you get there. But resolve it early. Otherwise, somewhere with some other connection, it may come up again.
hello. Yeah, I
Hello.
think there is some slight issue from my side. Some network
Okay.
issue is there. Uh, I think you answered Dr. Vaishali's question.
Mm-hmm.
The next question is by Dr. Seema.
Yes.
That was from the example that you gave. How to
Mm-hmm.
reduce the stress when you see a dog?
Now, my whole point is this auto suggestions that just now also we just coined a general auto suggestion. I sat with my wife and we did this for the entrepreneurial thing. I'll give you another example. When I was doing this hypnotherapy to answer that dog ka question, went for this. She only suggested. She had done the level 1 of this course, and I had just quit my job. And she said, "Go and go through that journey. It's a good one." So I went there, and they kept saying that childhood trauma. I said, "No, I'm very very comfortable. I quit my job. I'm starting this journey on my own. I'm really happy. Do you have any issues? I'm not having any issues. I'm not really stressful. I was in a great state in the place where I was." So we were doing some mock sessions. So she said that there is some you are I am a little aggressive in my basic nature. So she picked that up and she said, "Why are you so aggressive?" So I said, "Yeah, I sometimes lose my temper on my parents and I feel guilty about that. Let's see whether that is a recurring thought that comes in. That by and large I'm good, but when my mom is critical about me or my dad was critical about me, I used to snap very often." So they took me into a session where she induced trance, and I came up with memories. When did the first time? Why did you snap? When did the first time it happen? I went down to an 8-year-old of myself in a room where I believed that I'm not loved enough. I'm not worthy of being loved, and that's where she coined that connection. And so she went on to explain to me that the entire aggression is to seek that attention which was not given to a 8-year-old child. So a dog ka issue that is there, a fear is there. It There is a childhood trauma somewhere in the past. Something has happened. Now you need to heal that. No dog has bitten you. Your conscious mind can recognize that. For the last 20 years, there's probably no dog has bitten you. Nothing has happened. But that fear and phobia exist. So why does that fear and phobia exist? Does it emerge? Some people say, "No, never a dog bit me in my childhood also." Many memories of this nature are suppressed. Sometimes we've seen that these memories come in from the past life. So if there's an issue that is paralyzing you, you go across and seek a resolution for it. Any clinical hypnotherapist will be able to help you out with that.
Thank you, sir. That just to conclude that, I mean, bring peace with your past would be a best thing to put it.
Very true.
Uh,
If anything is bothering you for longer periods of time, go heal it. and there is things that are happening from your past that are coming in. So
I think
that's how well
I
put
think
it.
we will take one last question by Dr. Priya.
Okay.
Financial stress and losing jobs has been the major concern of people during the pandemic. So, can you suggest how to cope up with the financial stress and job
So
loss situations?
see, if you ask me, I am very surprised, and I think all these techniques or whatever I praise. See, I'm a freelance consultant, and if you ask me, last 2 years have hit me also in terms of what revenues I make. When the last drawn salary, what I was making and what I was probably expecting to make this year, we have. There's a huge gap between uh, what was expected and what was happening. But one part of it, I'm by God's grace, I'm very, very comfortable. So I don't undermine this, but there are many people who lose their jobs. Many people see their income coming down. I have been stressed. Well, I had even much more than what probably the first year of me, the first few months of me leaving my job and being at home. I had more money. I had my, the settlements coming in. There was no financial issue, but I was far more stressed on money at that time. Then today there are no revenues coming in, and you are in a COVID kind of a situation, locked at home, and I'm absolutely not stressed, because somewhere what I feel, when things will open up, you have to lie low. My whole point is that in certain situations you need to understand that this is the flow. Go with the flow. I travel crazy. There are other things. You slowly find a way in which you manage the things day by day. So the moment I think tomorrow I'm not saving enough, what will happen 3 months down the line, 6 months down the line, the moment I move into the future, the anxiety starts building up. I mean, for me, I'm trying to say I'm in the present. At this junction in time, am I able to manage? I'm able to manage. What am I worried about tomorrow? Do I have it for tomorrow? Who can I mean, if it comes down to borrowing money or taking money, do I have support system? So I look at it, yeah, I've got enough of support system. So many a times it's the fear. Why is it that we believe that we won't get a job once things open up? Why is it that I believe that tomorrow when things become normal, there's going to be abundant work and I will be more prosperous? Now I need to remind myself about this repeatedly. So again, it's being in the present, that I'm improving my skill sets. I'm doing important reading. You focus on things that you can do now. So the moment this COVID and thing has hit, I started doing videos on YouTube. I'm pursuing my PhD, so I'm going after writing my thesis right now. At the same time, you pick up certain things, certain hobbies, certain long standing things that are there. You keep yourself busy. My reading has gone up. My what do you say? I'm catching up on so many of the procrastinated items that I was not able to do during work time. So if you keep busy during the present and you stay in the present, your ability to manage these fears become bigger. But the moment you start living too much in the future, that anxiety will grip you. And I keep auto suggesting myself multiple times that it's a 30-year-old career. In 30 years time, I should not worry about survival and money. I'm definitely beyond that. So that is something that I repeatedly keep saying. Is there a reason in your career, in your work experience, till losing this job due to COVID? Is there a reason where you failed miserably? We've been able to achieve multiple positives in life till this stage. There's no reason why when things become okay, you will not be able to thrive. So I think that positive mindset and reinforcing that positive mindset plays a very important role.
Yes, totally agree with you, sir, on that. Staying positive would be the attitude during this pandemic to
Very true, very
lead
true.
us all. I can see many comments giving compliments to the sessions. I mean, wonderful session. Again, from all the participants, even the organizing committee. I request Dr. Harita to, I think, kindly take over and present the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Dr. Sagar sir, for chairing this session. I thank Dr. Shriharsh Kaushik sir and ma'am for this informative and stress releasing session. I now call upon Dr. Ujjwala Shinde ma'am, coordinator of our FDP, to felicitate our guest speaker for this session. Ma'am.
Hello. Thank you, Dr. Harita, and thank you, Dr. Sagar, for chairing the session. And as rightly said, that in this pandemic situation, all of us are going through a stress. All of us are under the stress, and I think this year's session must have brought some relaxation in the minds of our participants. As a token of means, I really thank you for accepting our invitation, and I would like to extend as a token of appreciation with your association with our FDP, our research scholars, they have planted Prarijat plant sapling in our BCP campus. So kindly accept it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
it's an honor and a pleasure.
Yeah, because this is the same thing we are following what our earlier FDP in charge, that is Dr. Vaishali Chittat, he had started. So we are also following the same appreciation note with this.
This is a wonderful gesture. I think it's one of the, it's a nice thing to do.
Yeah.
I cannot thank you all enough for this.
So Parijat sapling we have planted. Even thank you, Noorji. And we would like to have a photograph with Noor as well as you and along with our participants.
Okay. I'll just call her. We'll be in the same frame.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, I'll just call her one second.
Please.
Noor. Yeah, we are here.
Yeah.
Give us a sec.
Harita, please take over.
Yes, ma'am. I request all the participants to please switch on your videos. I have activated the video mode.
Hello.
Good afternoon, Noorji.
Yeah. Good afternoon. She said good afternoon.
Hello. Yeah, good afternoon.
Yeah, I request all the participants please switch on your videos. Thank you all the participants. We would now break for lunch, and we would again resume back at 2:45. We'll be having the assessment sharp at 2:45. So I request all the participants to join back sharp at 2:45 p.m. Thank you all the participants for your patient listening.
Thank you so much. Good day. Bye-bye.
Thank you
so
much.